Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Attack Power.
Welcome back everyone, super pumped for more SD2 action.
In this video we have for you game 2 of a best of 3 between Onord and Luna in the semi-final of the last Star Division League. Today they are playing on Tali, Ihantala, and on our left in the red team we have Onord playing with the 1st Infantry with the Maverick deployment type, and on our right in the blue team we have Luna playing with the new Kampfgruppe Walther with the balanced deployment type.
Fake news, SD League is never ending.
Alright, so what do you think about these divisions, Attack Power?
Group Walther, I would imagine one of the best divisions you can pick for this map. A lot of great tools. You're working with your Jagdpanzers, you're working with your Jagdpanther, your Panther, so you get all the 2K center stuff covered. Your infantry are very strong. The biggest weaknesses with this division, lack of light armor. You really don't have much, and that's honestly most of the meta these days. You don't have much CQC infantry, and certainly nothing that overperforms. And your RD is nothing shockingly great. So there are definitely weaknesses for the division. I know it's absolutely cracked in 10v10, but here in 1v1, it's a very good division, but nothing absurdly untouchable. Other side, Big Red 1, it is a very solid division. It's not a bad division on its own. For this map, odd, but I see reasons. There's a lot of 2K HE, which arguably is as important as 2K AT. He has the M10s to work at 2K in terms of killing tanks and stuff. And then you get a really strong A phase. We know Onord's a very aggressive player. The assault units are very strong overall. So that would be my guess as to why he chose this and is leaning into this division for this map.
Alrighty, well let's have a quick look at what's going down before they get underway. Over on the side of Luna here on the top right, we have the Erkundungs, which are going to be his close-range infantry there, coming in with an SDK of Z251. He's got the Pak 38, we've got the 2 Fallschirmjägers with the 30 cows. Further down, MG42, Panzerstreck, Pioneers, Erkundungs, we got the Bewährungsarmen as well there, and a Fallschirmjäger with the FG42. We got the Stug 3G. On the bottom side, it's going to be 2 Pak 38s. We got the MG42, Panzerstreck, Fallschirm Pioneers, Erkundungs, and some Panzer Grenadiers with the Stug 3G. That's a lot of different types of infantry in phase A. Over on the side of Onord, loads of these 4 GPAs rush into the front with assault busters, assault fire support. We've got just loads of those. M8s, we've got some assault teams following up with the M3 howitzer there and a bazooka. On the top side, just an M3 howitzer with assault breacher, assault leader, and a bazooka trying to sneak around the top side.
Yeah, he's got actually 6 cards of infantry in A phase. That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot on Luna's side, yeah, absolutely.
And he's playing balanced, which means A phase, it's not like he's going to have tons of points to throw around. So a little surprising. Pak 38 picking up a whole bunch of transport kills here. That's huge. Especially those assault teams are really strong. So killing those off early, definitely a big win.
Yeah, killing the assault team, yeah, really, really nice there. And the second one getting caught and the opens getting it mowed down by the MG42. In the center, though, things going pretty well for Onord, as does manage to use the M8s to pin down the infantry and get in there quickly with the assault fire support. Center, further down, Erkundung's Panzergren's going to be unharassed, so they'll maybe be able to put some more counter pressure on. Erkundung's coming in with their half-track, going to be unloading right next to these assault busters. That's not a good position for them at all.
Whoa. Not at all. Up north, something up north to take note of. Onord is sneaking a bazooka around that lake. We'll see if that develops into anything later. Could be interesting.
Yeah, but that M3 howitzer doing work on the bottom side in the meantime. Takes out the AT gun, forces back the Fallschirm Pioneer. Now the Stug 3 going to try and deal some damage in return, but the M3 howitzer will get off the road quickly. We do see that the half-track has gone down now, and the MG42 swiftly follows as the assault busters get their rockets on target. So just a Stug 3 to hold the line for the time being. Meanwhile, Panzergrens with their MP44s going to be engaging the fire support and assault busters in the mid. The Willy Pete there forcing the Panzergrens to move does make them take a lot of damage. They lose their entrenchment bonus. Bazooka's still unmatched on the top side. Luna Looks like Luna kind of prepared for Onord to push in to that north side with some infantry, and since Onord didn't, there's quite a lot of infantry just sitting doing nothing there for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, that's the common place to push. I mean, red can get to that flag pretty early. If it grabs it, it kind of helps you develop into some pushes further north and such. So that's probably the most common place for red to go. So I understand why he put a lot of counterplay there. Onord kind of big brain this one and went down south, which tends to be a harder push with a lot less flags to capture. So, I mean, you can see you only captured a flag and there's really nowhere else to go. So that's the issue with going down south.
A nice bombing run by the A20G there. Doesn't get any full kills. Pack 38 still surviving, but some severe damage to both the AT gun and the Panzergren unit. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, that Falchion Pioneer with the 2 vets slowly cut down a couple more squads from Onord. So let's put him in a much better position there. 2 Falchion Jaegers with FG-42s now on the way to clean things out. And the Stug 3 still stands, so decent amount of forces now building up again for Luna on the bottom side. Middle in a little bit of panic at the moment, but will recover if they can get back into that heavy cover there. And in the mid, well, all the support from the half-tracks is getting shots on target thanks to the Okundungs that are managing to stay hidden at close range.
Excellent unit. Okundungs are really solid here. And the problem for Onord is a lot of his units are very CQC based, and right now he's kind of grabbed those positions and is having trouble getting out of them. Focke-Wulf D9 down south going after that F5A. This did receive a buff to its maneuverability, and we can definitely see that on display here. That thing pulled around easy to kill that.
Yeah, really, really nice reactions there from Luna just to get that in to shoot down the recon plane, which I don't think Onord really gets very many of. Falchion is able to utilize their FG-42s at range, but the assault fire support there doing loads of damage with the 2 vet. Double 30 cal, 4 carbines. Those carbines the equivalent of like an MP44, so ripping those units out in the open because the Falchion was not in cover.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that in this game, the carbine is essentially the same as an MP44, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Obviously, historically, so not at all the same. But in-game, they function basically identically.
Yeah, the Falchion at that time around, second one was in heavy cover when it engaged, so it didn't take much damage, and now it's going to re-secure that bottom side. Focke-Wulf 190 coming in with the strafe onto the Assault Breacher just to make that engagement easier for the Falchion next. And so it looks like Luna really starting to stabilize after what was a very aggressive start from Onord.
Yeah, and once again, it is balance versus Maverick with Onord on Maverick income, so he's really got to get the... I mean, he's got a nice little ticket lead here, but does he have the terrain he needs? I'm not so sure yet if he's established what he needs to really press into B phase well.
Yeah, we got a good kill there on the bottom side with the M1 gun, killing the Stug 3, so that's something. LG-42 almost kills the M1 gun in reply, but he keeps it alive, and we all know how scary 1 health AT guns can be, although not so much anymore.
Instant kill.
I don't see it anymore.
Always.
It's really bad. It's like the curse is gone. I used to kind of like it in these games because it just kept things exciting, but now they just get like random machine gun or just take that out. Like the Okundungs will just hit it with an MG42 or something and it will just die, and it'd be really sad.
You feel like they made it realistic? One man on an AT gun doesn't kill tanks? Yes.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's crazy.
Assault team hunting down Okundungs that have pushed up here. If that assault team finds the Okundungs in the light cover, they're going to chew them up so fast.
It's gonna be ugly.
There we go. 3 vet assault team. That's the dead Okundungs.
It's easy to forget too, still how absurdly effective the M1 Garand is in this game. It just feels better than the other semi-automatic rifles. I don't know if it's just because all the squads come with more of them in the Western Allied divisions, because I think they statistically are basically identical to the G43 and the SVT. But my God, do these Western Allied infantry feel so deadly with them.
Well, that Pack 38 that survived the bombing strike finds a kill onto the M4A1, and that is what you want to see for Luna there. Well, as a 2 health AT gun, it's not a 1 health AT gun. I'm talking about the M1 gun.
Maybe that's what you need now, though, is 2 health, and then they still do this because he just killed the M16 too.
Yeah, that's a cheeky kill there, because now the Focke-Wulf 190 much more free to continue strafing. We do see LG42 on the way for the mid, as well as an 81mm mortar, which he's probably going to be using to try and dislodge this assault team on that flag. Meanwhile, these MP44 Panzergrens going to be making a play for the further town. So things not completely decided just yet. I mean, we've still got to wait till Phase B, where Onord will get access to the 170 income per minute, and that's when Onord will be building up a force to push out Luna from these locations.
Yeah, and really the true terror of Maverick income versus balance is really at the end of B phase. Like basically the first 5 minutes of C phase, it can feel like you're doing really well through all of B phase, and then things just blow up in your face at the beginning of C phase because, you know, your opponent has maxed out their income advantage at that point.
Really interesting to see a 2-vet Focke-Wulf with those rockets. Was planning to use that to try and run after the A20G at the same time, but didn't manage to do so as the Bofors unloaded on the bottom side. A20G, though, did manage to get its bombs off and kill an infantry squad further up, allowing these assault breaches to move across the open and potentially challenge the Fallschirmjägers next.
Yeah, I mean, technically the veterancy on the Focke-Wulf, which should increase the accuracy of the rockets, right?
Yeah, I think it's also so that it doesn't get scared off, right, as well by the AA. It's able to take a few more hits.
Well, and the big issue with rocket planes is once they take suppression, their rockets spread out and then become almost completely undeadly in the general sense. So I guess that would be the reason. I mean, it makes sense, I suppose, if he doesn't assume to call in many. We do see an 81 mortar now in as well, looking for that. Looking for some support there. The LG42 down south as well. We see 2 of those. And that's going to do some major damage there to the assault team.
Yeah, A20G coming in again with the bombing strike, the 227 kilogram bombs, looking to wipe out this Fallschirmjäger. Will it get out of the way in time? No, it will not. Take so many bombs to the face there. Oh, we see the Recon Arado coming out. That's really cool.
Yeah. Neat. It's fun to see that. Although it's already smoking, it took a bad hit from something.
I think it's just where the jets.
Oh, is that the jet? Is that the jet?
Yeah,
okay.
It's just the jets. Looks like it's.
I'm not used to actually like watching it. Never like watched it.
That's not good. 1 health AT gun hits the mark, takes out the Panzergrens in their half track. There's a bunch of half tracks there that have been killed off in the open, actually. So maybe more than just that Panzergren being taken out. But that Focke-Wulf, here we go. See, this is what normally happens. Oh, it's not even dying. Yes, the hero.
Bofors is slightly out of position behind some woods there, so it did not get the shots off that it needed. So the Focke-Wulf might get another chance at this if he really wants it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, and he's kind of risking that getting shot down, because if he's diving like towards the Bofors, he's going to be taking more damage in the front. Has to be very, very careful with that. Mortar in the middle, getting some accurate shots now onto the assault team, so we'll likely clean that up unless Onord does manage to dodge the last shot at the last moment. Meanwhile on the top side, well, those assault breaches, they did manage to clean through one Fallschirmjäger unit, but with the Erkundungs and the Fallschirmjäger at a distance, they will be able to hold those back. But that A20G has a really nice bombing strike now that could take out not only these 2 infantry squads, but also the LG42 by accident.
Oh, that's gonna burn. These A20's doing really well here. Not usually a huge. Oh, this is the heavier one. This one's big booms.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, not as I was expecting something to die. Surprising it didn't. Now the big issue here is Onord's still only on a 1410. He really needs that double tick to kind of like secure victory. Truth be told. Because it's still a long way to go, and it's going to go deep into C phase if it stays at a single tick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because as soon as we get into phase C, from that point forwards, like Luna's going to start getting ahead on overall income, and then it's only going to get worse for Onord. So getting the double tick, something super important. Beverdungs Arnhem going to be holding the bottom side now for Luna, as Luna most likely got a little bit of low on availability towards the end there of phase A. But now we've got Stugs on the middle. In the middle, the M1 gun looking to take that out. It looks like the Stug did take 1 shot. Now the M1 gun just looking to clean up a couple half tracks. LG42 is holding back these rifles early in the open. Bit of wasteful in my opinion, having these rifles just kind of running out in the open like that.
They were reinforcements coming in to try to improve the assault on the center, and they got stopped by the Stug.
Okay.
That's what happened with those. They weren't just like, let's walk them out and have fun. There were plans. He had plans for that. Okay, now Fogwolf A8 with the rockets in, so desperate to kill this 1 health M8, and he does get the kill. Stug going after that howitzer. Killing those 105s off is really important. They're just super strong, and they kind of block out entire chunks of the map. The Assault Breacher killing the Pack 38 up north, and 2 flags now because of that Assault Breacher up there.
Yep, it's done a great job cleaning those out. Focke-Wulf 190 trying to come in with the strafing run, but completely misses. M10 actually getting some free hits onto the Stug 3 there. That's not site damage, going to have to back up. Assault team trying to win with the BAR against the Falchion Pioneer, and does manage to clean them up. So nice little kill there, which will push the front line quite heavily on this bottom side. Not quite over the flag just yet.
Yeah, the 81 mortar from Onord side here, taking out a Pack 38 that was covering off this Sherman from pushing out in the open there. So that might change that up a little bit. The double 81 mortar going after that assault team to clear that up and hopefully flip that flag back to Luna. AR-234, the Dorado floating around there, checking for fun stuff.
Yeah, Focke-Wulf strafed the assault breacher on the top side, and it allowed the Erkundungs to pin them down and force them back. So that assault breacher losing all of the ground it gained, and lots of reinforcements arrived in the meantime. 2 Sturm Pioneers, another Bewährungsaren. So it's going to make it difficult again for Onord to get in there and secure those flags once more. So we're back to 12-12 briefly.
M10 just killed off the Bewährungs in the transports. That was pretty painful. Notice this bazooka is still up there. Onord's bazooka, but no reinforcements like ever come in this direction.
Yeah, true. Yeah, nothing ever really uses that land spawn unless you push on that top side really hard. We're seeing a Jagdpanther come in on the back side there, but meanwhile on the bottom side, the LG-42 killed off the M4 Sherman there, so losing his medium tank support, and that's going to make it very, very difficult for these rifles to push into these infantry.
LG-42 in the center does go down. The Stug 3 taking shots at the M10. Misses its first. See if it can finish it off with the second. That would be pretty big. Okay, missed by like a country mile. That's sight damage showing its worth.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close.
It's really struggling, but the Focke-Wulf 190, really good strafe, pinned down 2 of those rifle early in the open. Finally, the Stug does get a shot on target, but the Stug going down to the next shot from the M10, so cleans that out. Now the A20's arriving once again, this time blind bombing into the center of the map, which feels inefficient.
Well, it's not like he really has any units like waiting to follow it up. Maybe these 2 rifles early over here. Maybe that's what he's planning to do. But seems weird.
Personally, I feel like he either needs to, bomb where the rifles early are trying to push in on the top side, or bomb on the bottom side where he can clearly see the Fallschirmjäger and the Bewährungsarmen there. Like, that would seem like such a better target for these bombers. You shouldn't really be blind bombing when you have better targets you can fire at.
Oh yeah, Jagdpanther is finally here. The M10 already dead though, so its HE will lend minor damage. Another A20 coming in. These have this is gonna hurt. Now they got a target.
Yeah, this is the right location. It's the 454 kilogram bombs, so the big bombs, and that's 2 fresh units of Fallschirmjägers that are going to take some decent damage. Not as much as you'd think, but all of those A20s now going to retreat. I find it really strange that Onord just keeps his A20s floating around sometimes, and his bombers. It's something that I've always seen him do, like, forever. I think it's weird. Maybe it's down to the fact that he doesn't like use the bind to retreat, so he has to like click it. Maybe it's the only reason I could.
Yeah, because I always queue up a fallback order like after the bombing strike. You just queue up a fallback order in the right direction that you want. It doesn't take long. It's kind of weird.
If I ever had an interview with him, I would ask, because it's just really weird to see like that A20G just like floating around for no reason. But A20G coming in on the bottom side. to kill off the LG-42, and that should successfully do so. Focke-Wulf coming in for the bombing strike in the center, and this is one thing that Walther does have that is very cool. These Focke-Wulf 190 F8s, they have 1,000 kilogram bombs, so they can just nuke infantry squads like that very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's abnormal to see a ground attack plane like that with something so heavy. What is weird, too, Luna's called in no AA. And he has good AA pieces. Like, he could be doing something to try to prevent these A-20s from absolutely decimating him over and over again. But he's decided that it's just not worth the points to try to stop them, I guess.
I think he was just reliant on the Focke-Wulfs, right? The Focke-Wulf 190 was actually just like freely flying around for so long, like the D9. He does now have the 250-121D there with the drilling, but nothing's not very good at stopping bombers.
That's not stopping a bomber,
yeah,
for sure. Really, it's more of a ground support weapon, honestly, more than an AA piece.
And preventing
LG-42
strafing, yeah.
Yeah, an LG-42 in the center does go down to the 81 mortar, which is making its presence known there pretty well. And he did bring in ammo to keep... Luna did bring in ammo to keep his 81 mortars firing. And down south, another Stug 3 to help push all these infantry back. I mean, Onord's infantry are getting beaten up pretty hard. And we're coming to the end of B phase.
I mean, it's got these Fallschirmjägers with FG-42s, and they are just going to rip rifles at range. And then the MG-34 variant getting into the decent position. It's just, the other thing is just the disparity between the cover, right? Having the Fallschirmjägers in heavy cover, having the rifles early out in the open, they're obviously going to get cut down pretty quickly indeed.
And yeah, we see Onord making a lot of pushes out of cover, like just walking his infantry forward. It always makes me sweat a little bit when I watch it happening.
Yeah, and it's not like he doesn't have like the mortar carrier on the backside to provide a little bit of smoke if he needs it. So it feels like a little bit off his game for this one. And maybe just kind of forgetting some of the basics, especially like we see the bombers. You can see like he's under pressure when he starts doing those kinds of plays. But the Stug 3 has gone down here, and Onord does briefly find himself a double tick with the two flags in the center there. Ooh. Nice little salient. But yeah, Focke-Wulf going down to the Bofors and the M16.
Yeah, the question, I mean, this is the most dangerous time for Luna. This Onord has the biggest advantage he's going to have at any point in terms of income. It's all downhill from here. But he's got technically a 400-point income advantage. Can he leverage? I mean, he's made his B phase was not actually very good trade-wise. Like if you look at the map, there's still a lot of blue present.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
A ton of red.
Yeah, I was going to say that the actual unit count for Onord right now is pretty light for a Maverick at the end of Phase B, and so he may not quite have the momentum, although I say that. Look at his spawn. Was he just floating so many points? That's like 3 M5A1s, M10, M4A1, multiple rifles, engineers, snipers. Man's been sleeping.
Yeah, he's been floating. That's at least 3 ticks of income there, even in Maverick. So, I mean, that definitely wasn't helping him. And the problem is it might be hard for him now to hold on to the gains he did make. We see Luna here in the center doing a push out. Takes out the 105 howitzer, which, I mean, no, the M5 gun is not that scary. The PaK-36, a phenomenal support / AT gun here.
Yeah, he's got one on the bottom side as well. That's going to be starting to pick off some of these transports. The engineers going down there for the first one. It's going to force Onord to unload early. It's also going to put pressure onto these Stuarts after the fact. So he's got to be careful. In the center, double Sturm Pioneers are going to help clean out the rifles there. And like I said, the PaK-36 here with the 2 vet going to potentially take out this M5 gun, whilst the Fallschirmjägers with these MG-42s and the FG-42s are going to continue moving on here. If those Sturm Pioneers get into that heavy cover, they'll be able to deal with the rifles early as well, potentially take that flag.
Well, and all of a sudden, it's 13-11 for Luna here, flipping the flags immensely. The bazooka up north finally picked up a kill, by the way. A transport driving by does go down. The PaK-36 finishing off that M5 gun. That's a painful loss, actually. It's a very strong unit to lose. PaK-36 down south just cleaving everything it can find, but now the mortar finding its target on there, and ouch. Always an ouch from that.
Yeah, Fallschirmjäger is going to take back control of the lake side for him. Sturm Pioneers did finish off the rifles there. Sturm Pioneers further up almost taking out the rifles here. If he can surrender those before the bomb drops, that would be great, but doesn't look like he's going to have time. Although the second squad's surviving completely after those bombing strikes. Now Focke-Wulf 190 is coming in to do the same in return.
Jagdpanther in the center, finding the M10, taking that out. So a nice kill there. It's actually there's not a ton of M10s. There's only 6 in the deck. So killing each one of those off, pretty huge, because at that point, there's almost no way to kill off the Jagdpanther anymore, except for maybe the M5 or a lot of Artie.
Yeah. Kampfgruppe on the bottom side, a little bit overly aggressive from Onord. Manages to kill a Stuart just before he got pinned down. That was really clutch. The Stuk 3 here with the 2 vet, potentially able to deal with these M4s quite easily, but loads more infantry now just flooding across the open here, and these A20s have not been evac'd once again. Pack 36 going to get some shots towards this M4, but might struggle to pen there. It does have 110 mils of frontal armor. I say that as it manages to get straight through that.
Caster curse, good job. That's all your fault.
And
it did it again right after. Yep, that's because you said something.
Onord taps that after that one. 23 minutes and 32 seconds. Doesn't see a way back in against the balanced deployment type of Luna. And that is going to tie the series 1-1. 2,295 kills, 1,795 losses for Luna. Very, very efficient Phase B against a Maverick player.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to beat the Maverick. I mean, if you just outplay them immensely and eat up 400 points, well, then they're kind of screwed right off from the bat of C phase, right? You're not even ahead anymore. So then it's just pile on the income. No units did anything particularly incredible. I mean, the Jagdpanther did pick up 2 M10s and a 105, which actually does pay it off, I guess, right? Yeah, it does. Because the Jagdpanther's, 185 points, and yeah, well past that. So not often we see those big units pay themselves off, so that's nice to see from time to time. Otherwise,
I think the thing that I like the most about this is just Luna showing, like, after what was a really tough game 1, Luna shows why they're in this position, right? Because it's in the semi-final, you don't want to see like one side be crushed. Like taking it to a game 3 is always really, really nice, and we get to see now the skill from Onord in the first game, and in the second game, Luna puts on the pressure and forces Onord to make mistakes, and then we get one back. So really, really exciting stuff.
Yeah, great match from both players. I'm just pumped we get a game 3.
Yeah, all right. That's it for now then. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.